All right, friends, it's Timon. We're back with Off the Chains Fitness Man. I haven't done a video on this guy in a very long time, and I do enjoy some of his videos for sure. They're very interesting. I love the one on the religion; it was very good. But unfortunately, when it comes to the natural world and eating naturally, regenerating, and a bunch of stuff, this guy still, I don't know, man. He's in that stuck in that religion, unlike the other kind of religion, Jesus. Even though he was smart enough to get away from that stuff, he's just not smart enough to get away from this stuff. But anyways, we're gonna react to his video. So, Off the Change Fitness says, fit at 61, twisting the body during a dead hang. Topic: there's no harsh truth turning 50 or 60. There's no such thing turning 50 or 60. It's a ruse. It's a scam by your government telling you that you should celebrate your deterioration. Another day of deteriorating. They got you hooked on the peasant slave food diet and work. Work doesn't exist in nature. That's why when they captured slaves in Africa, for example, when they captured these slaves out in nature, they were out in nature when they captured them. I always ask people, what do you think the slaves were doing before they captured them and then put them to work, forced to work? A slave forced to work. What is a slave forced to work? Why don't they want to work? Because they don't want to work, because they don't work in nature. That's why. It's not natural for humans to work. Get it? It's painful to work. No human wants to work. Only crazy humans do. So what do? They got you hooked up on these drugs called plants. All plants are drugs, and all drugs are made from plants. And so they have you addicted to the peasant slave food plant addictive drug addict diet. Get it? Which is an energy diet, a very high, weird energy diet. Now, when you're on animal products, you do get energy, but it's a different kind of energy. It's not an energy where you're high on drugs that all of a sudden you want to go out everywhere and deteriorate the fuck out of yourself. And you're interested in slaving yourself for all these things that are just going to crumble into dust. So yeah, you start to open your eyes and you have a very different feeling when you're normal off the drugs. But I guess some people just can't stop doing this off the drugs thing. That's why they exercise themselves to death. People that look, it's like this. You ever watch these movies? This guy sucks on these coca plants and then they run through the forest and they run like crazy. Or Maradona on cocaine. He's kicking the ball in soccer. He's got all this crazy energy to kick the ball. Why? Because he's on cocaine, bro. Get it? He got caught taking these drugs. A lot of people use these drugs in sports too still. They still use these kind of hardcore drugs which give you these crazy energies like cocaine or whatever these weird drugs do to make you go and do really crazy things. Anyways, that's the same thing that you're on. Sugar is a drug, carbohydrates are drugs, all plants are drugs, and they're filled with all kinds of weird stuff, like people telling you aphrodisiacs, this, that. They have all these toxins which make you crazy, which drive you to do all these weird things. So anyway, yeah, man. So he says, you're sorry aging, there is no harsh truth, turning 50. Okay, whatever, man. Anyways, let's get on with the video. What is this? Swinging dead hang with a twist. Okay.
To constitute our number to an age is freaking false, bro. But false by default, man.
Yes, I will agree, because age doesn't exist in nature. Neither does watches, and neither do calendars. When you look at animals, you cannot tell by saying look how old they are by judging them by deterioration, because the animals are not deteriorated. I don't know if you haven't watched Mutual of Omaha. I know people haven't been out there in nature in like a billion years, but Mutual of Omaha, the closest you could get to watching these animals on Mutual of Omaha, right? Back in the day, I don't know, whatever, and even now, whatever, if you watch these nature channels, when you look at all these animals and things, they never show one animal fucking deteriorated. Get it? Looking like a mummy, like a human. Why? Because they're all on their natural diet, living out in nature, and they don't work. They don't work. How do they survive without a job? It's easy. They live in nature. Nature provides. Get it? So when even like this crazy in crazy religions, they always tell you about the Garden of Eden. They eat the apple. The apple is whatever. You're not supposed to eat the apple. That's why you left the garden, because an apple is sugar. It's addictive. It's sugar. It's sweet. Whatever. It's a drug, man. Get it? And then you got kicked out of the garden. No, you and this knowledge stuff. You knowledge is could be a detriment, bro. Get it? That's how you fucked yourself. You left the garden where you didn't have to work. Everything was provided. You just had to hunt, eat, and relax all day and enjoy yourself out in nature. You don't have to slave yourself 24 hours in a crazy job chasing pieces of paper. But whatever, man. Like, each to their own, bro. Everybody's going to do whatever they want on this fucking planet. But like I said, age does not exist. It just exists here because they know you're deteriorating, because they have put you specifically on the deteriorating diet. Get it? They don't want you to regenerate faster than you deteriorate. They want you deteriorating faster than you regenerate. And then they have you fooled, making you believe that this is normal. Oh, we need to go celebrate our birthday. Another year of deterioration. Hooray, clap. Happy birthday to me. Oh, look, I made it to 85. What is 85? Oh, it has a specific look. It has this deterioration look. The more deterioration, that's how they market that. See, oh, look, you look 85. They have this calendar called birthday. They have it down to a T on with the deterioration. But the best part is they can't figure out how other people have not deteriorated, but they all have deteriorated. The majority of them have all deteriorated, where you could guess the age. But many people have not, because glycation equals deterioration. So the more glycation, the more deterioration. Get it? But if you cannot regenerate faster than you deteriorate and be in positive nitrogen balance, you're fucked. Get it, bro? On your natural animal diet. That's all. Nature will punish you by deteriorating you and your teeth and everything else. If you don't have your teeth, that too is obviously a sign. Your teeth are drilled out or whatever, you lost them because of this deterioration. So is your body, your skin, and your muscle, and whatever in your mind too.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, there's nothing wrong with dead hanging. You could do that out in nature too, but I don't know why you would do it for no reason.
Oh, when you turn 50. Oh, when you turn 60. It's freaking 100% rubbish.
You don't turn 50 or 60. You're measuring time. That's what you're doing. You're measuring a distance, a time. What does age have to do with you deteriorating? That makes absolutely no sense. Oh, I'm turning 50 this year. Okay, so what? Or 60. You're measuring something. What does that have to do with anything? Does it have a specific look? I didn't know that 85 had a specific look. Get it? It has a look. That makes absolutely no sense.
If I have to ask someone how old they are, it's because I don't know.
Exactly. If you have to ask a young person how old they are, that means you don't know. Want to know why? Because you don't. If they didn't deteriorate. If they did not deteriorate, you would have to ask them how old they are. Look, this guy doesn't look so bad. Look, the Off the Chains guy doesn't look as bad as I Am Longevity at 61. He's 61. If I put their pictures together, you could see, it's kind of obvious. I mean, this guy looks kind of deteriorated too. If I put my picture next to these guys, which I'm not exactly their age, 61, but I'm almost there. But let's say, if I was to put up my picture, they're missing their hair, both of them. I Am Longevity, this guy too. And they look somewhat deteriorated. Now, I don't look as deteriorated as these guys, and I have my hair. But Off the Chains doesn't look as deteriorated as I Am Longevity. Get it? You see what I mean? He still looks deteriorated, but not as bad as him, right? But I'm not as deteriorated as these two guys. That's the difference, man. And even if when I'm their age in the next 2 years, when I'm their age at 61, I guarantee you I'm still gonna look the same in 2 years. So yeah.
Stop it with the age and how old are you and oh, you look 40 and oh yeah, that's nice. Oh really, you're 60? Well, you look 20. You cut it out. I'm good.
All right, so if I show you a picture of Chulo Lang or whatever his name is, Chulo Young, the Singaporean guy that's 59 years old, that looks like he's, I don't know, 24 or something, 23 years old. if you never knew this so-called age, and I showed you a picture of him, I said to you, can you mark him like how old he looks like in these human years that you call of deterioration? Can you tell me how old you think he looks? And I guarantee you, none of them would even say 60, 50, 40, or 30. They would say he was in his 20s, and that's 100%, because that's what he looks like. He's static. He is not aging. He's static. Because just look at his pictures. He's static. He's been static since his 20s. He has not deteriorated. Get it? So he doesn't need to celebrate his birthday of deterioration. Get it? And celebrating, I survived another year of deteriorating, eating peasant slave food diets, being in negative nitrogen balance. Hurrah!
What's happening? My name is Albert. Welcome to another hang with this 61-year-old. And a special hang because I'm going to twist.
So if I put his picture next to let's say Jason Blaha is 48, so he's not even 61. But looks kind of deteriorated too. But if I put him next to I Am Longevity, look at these two guys. They're both exercise slaves, right? Now, Longevity is on most likely TRT or some weird shit. But they look pretty deteriorated for 61. Now, if I put my picture up, you see me in my last video. Just put my last video up. The last one, me speaking. Put my video up and match me up next to these guys. Look at their neck and look at their face and look at their hair. Do I look deteriorated as they do? I'm only 2 years behind. Do you think in 2 years I'm going to look as deteriorated as they do? I'm not a lifting slave. And I eat natural animal products. And the majority of my life growing up, that's what I ate. I never liked plants. And plants and stuff are seasonal. And fruits. Fruits definitely I didn't eat growing up, for sure. Now I ate bread and this and that with butter. Did some weird stuff my parents fed me growing up. But then later on my own, I definitely ate a lot of meat on my own, after that when I moved out. I did a bunch of things, but I did definitely do a bunch of things wrong too as well. You know what I mean? Eating peasant slave food diets. But I definitely ate a lot of meat most of the time, as much as I could. Definitely. And I wasn't an exercise slave. I am against exercise. I'm not against you enjoying yourself like playing some sports. You can try to mimic hunting, playing sport, and that's what a lot of people do. They mimic it as being hunting. Even these Mayans and things, they had these ball courts, whatever, and then they killed the other side if they lost, or they enslaved them, or whatever. Man, it was like hunting. Anyway, yeah, let's get on with the video.
I never did that before. I stumbled across it, which is incredible. I've already done a video where I swung, which that's pretty cool too, but here I'm going to twist, so I'm going to show you that. And so this is a video in one format, which means that I am going to hang in real time, and that is format number 1, which will be in the chapters. And then format number 2 is the topic of there's no harsh truth, bro. To turning 50, 60, 70. There's no harsh truth, bro.
And what's that going to do for you hanging on this thing? What is that going to do? Is that going to reverse the deterioration? Are you going to regenerate faster than you're deteriorating? What exactly is that going to do for you hanging on this thing for no reason? I don't get it. Is that going to improve your health somehow? Is that going to grow back your hair or what? Is that going to bring back your youthful look too? This degeneration? What's it going to do?
I'm going to freaking elaborate on what that means to me and how much it bothers me. And so, what can I say? So, this body right here needs to hang. That's all I can say after the burpee sessions that I endured, back-to-back burpee sessions that are not easy. So, I am going to get to the hang, and then I'm going to go ahead with the topic. So, let's get to it.
I could tell you this, man. People are asking me right now. That last 3-4 months, I just went all out again at the buffet and eating a lot animal products and eating more raw stuff too now, eating more raw. And moving on to organs now as well. And because they keep asking me, what are you doing, man? And they freak out when I show them that I eat raw meat and stuff. They just get crazy, these people, man, because they're so unnatural. They're such unnatural, domesticated animals. They don't even know their natural food. They will die never eating their natural food. But whatever. The point is, they keep telling me, you look so young, and I keep telling them, they go, what should they do? One guy told me already, he goes, I was listening to you before how people die through natural causes, loss of appetite, then sleep and pass. And he just told me, the guy was just talking to my friend Tony here, because he smokes cigarettes, and he said to me, he says, dude, his eyes are kind of shot, they're kind of red, and he doesn't look so good. And he said to me, I have a loss of appetite. I can't eat. And he goes, I remember what you told me. And he says, I started doing exercise like crazy at home, doing exercises, because that's what happens. People are scared. They don't want to die. See, they don't want to die. Not yet. They're just not ready to die yet. That's all. And so he doesn't want to die. And I told him, why don't you eat raw liver? And if you're scared to eat it, like just plain raw liver, why don't you put it in a blender and blend it with some milk and drink it? That's not hard to do. And he said to me the other day, he says, yeah, man, I tried some raw meat. I bought some of that meat, whatever, and I tried it raw. And he says, yeah, it wasn't a big deal. It was like nothing. And I go, yeah, exactly. He goes, yeah, I'm surprised. He goes, it was like nothing. I go, you should eat raw meat. You know, I'm not saying that you should stop cooking some of your things that you're doing. It's a big transition to go from cooking to raw. I mean, you've been brought up as a slave. So it's hard to break the bonds, these chains of slavery. Get it? It's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy when you've been so conditioned, and everything is challenging your beliefs now. And you know that everything that you learned was wrong, and everything you're doing is wrong. It can hurt you inside. It can hurt people, bro. Trust me. You can hurt people bringing out the truth. That's why it's a bad thing. You know, it's hard to accept the truth. But I mean, if you want to keep suffering, then just say no. Get it? Just say no.
1, 2.
2, 3. See, it's really sad watching this guy deteriorate himself. It's incredible, man. Just really, it's sad. I just don't get it. Doesn't he enjoy going out places? Go salsa dancing. That's at least that will give you joy. Even if salsa dancing was to deteriorate you, at least you enjoyed yourself dancing. It's fun. You learn new moves, and you dance with really hot chicks, bro. Get it? At least you died happy. But this is no, man. This is no. I go to there's a special church here on the weekends. I go there for salsa dancing. There's all kinds of women there. You pay like $5 and whatever. You go in there, you salsa dance there for a couple hours. And then there's a club that I go to. There's the salsa clubs. They're not far from here. I go there often sometimes. Yeah, I go there sometimes. I spend almost all night until I'm there until closing. They close at like 3 in the morning, 3 in the morning or 4. Yeah, it's crazy.
3.
3. Yeah, it's a lot of pleasure there, all right. Oh yeah. Here we go. Yes, he's reverse aging. Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna time it, although it's not fair to time myself against the other hangs because I twisted and I'm swinging, which causes more demand on the body. It causes more weight on the body, obviously, so I'm not gonna compare, but I'm going to time just for my curiosity. And so the hang felt good
So
twisting.
I have to speed it up.
The lats are.
I have to speed it up because this is boring.
Get an extra stretch because I'm doing
Sure
this.
they do, yeah.
And so also my core area and my lower back is an extra stretch. And so now I'm gonna get to this freaking topic, bro, about there's no harsh truth turning 50 and 60 and 70. And why am I bringing this topic to the table?
Yes, why?
I'm bringing this topic to the table because I come across thumbnails all the time. The harsh.
No, the best is when he says you feeling like that age or whatever, feeling young. Yeah, but what about looking the part? Feeling and looking are two different things. When I eat peasant slave food diet, I feel bad because it gives me inflammation, farting, and I feel bad. Does he feel bad? No, he doesn't, because he has accepted that. He thinks that that is normal. These are normal processes to be sick like this and farting all day and feel bad and inflammation. And my whole body is inflaming constantly, which is deteriorating as well because of the inflammation. It deteriorates you. Yes, yes, yes. More deterioration. Yes. Washing all day, these plants make you sensitive to light, go out in the sun, and more damage to the skin. Yes, when you're detoxing, it's detoxing, and oxalates are coming through your skin and everything. It's disgusting.
Truth turning 50, the harsh truth, the harsh truth. And it bothers me so much because what that implies is that that number constitutes everyone. When it doesn't, man. It also means...
Well, I could tell you this. You should try and think about the age that you found was the best for you. And I think the best age for me was 29 or 30. So I focus on 29. I really like that age, 29. So I'm focused on 29 the whole time. In my head, I believe I am that age. You could say that age, whatever. I mean, that point in time, okay, when I was 29, that if you want to measure that time way back in the 90s. So I'm like thinking, yes, that's how I visualize myself looking, and that's the goal I shoot for. That should be your goal, to shoot for whatever it is that you felt best at, what you looked like best. That should be your goal, and then shoot for that goal. But you cannot shoot for that goal if you're doing something that's going to fuck the goal. Get it? Smoking, drinking, and peasant slave food diets don't get you there. Get it? They do the opposite. But when you do healthy food like raw animal products, which are not deficient in nutrients, high nutrient dense food like liver, organs, brain, muscle meat, skin, collagen, this, that. When you eat those foods, man, they make you in positive nitrogen balance. You're able to repair. The surplus will repair and grow you and keep you static, bro. Get it? Instead, if you eat the peasant slave food diet, you'll always be degenerating faster than you can regenerate because you're negative nitrogen balance. What'd you expect?
Is that there's no witnesses out there. Like there's no actual witnessing of our lives, which, let me give you an example, man. You probably have an aunt that's 97 years old that's still dancing, man, and she's spunky, she has a younger boyfriend, and...
Who cares? She's deteriorated the fuck out of herself. Who cares if she's spunky and move around? We all are spunky still and moving around, but she's deteriorated.
We've come across trainers in their 70s. My sister's yoga trainer is 74 years old.
Yeah, I've seen cars. They're still running. They're still driving. And they're completely deteriorated. There's rust hanging from the doors underneath everywhere. But it's still running, bro. Get it? It's still going down the street. He's still stepping on the gas. Is she just a going? Yeah. Hooray. Hoorah.
And she freaking kills the entire room, bro. And so to constitute our number to an age is freaking false, bro, but false by default, man. And so I'm 61 years old. And
I know, I just told you that's by the government. They want you to celebrate another year of deterioration. That's the fool, get it? Now, you wouldn't be celebrating any deterioration if you weren't deteriorating and you were static like every other animal in nature. But humans are violating the laws of nature, eating peasant slave food diets.
I am insulted in a sense at that type of a mindset. Oh, when you turn 50, and I'll tell you where this comes from. This comes from growing up, hearing when you turn 40.
But you're not 50, you're 61 apparently, according to you. According to me, I feel I don't exactly look. I'm almost there. I'm not exactly there, but I would say I'm almost there. I would say close to in my 30s right now. But the ultimate goal is to be like I was when I was 29, if you want to say that. Around that period, that time, the way I looked, that's the goal. I don't know what your goal is. Is your goal to deteriorate yourself? Then keep exercising and eating peasant slave food diets. And you have reached the goal. You've deteriorated. Now you'll look this part, that government, clapping for that birthday. You'll look 61, whatever that look is supposed to be. I don't know. Get it? Why do I don't know? Because that's not my goal. That's not my goal. That may be your goal. Join all of us in our deterioration. Don't be left out of the circle. That's a problem with people today. It's a group thing of deterioration. Don't be left out. You know, don't be left out. Why aren't you drinking the pop and eating the hamburger and the French fries, which are gonna fuck you? Why are you drinking water and only eating the patty and throwing everything out? No, 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 no. You have to deteriorate yourself with the rest of us. You have to celebrate a day of deterioration, a birthday of deterioration, like the rest of us. Get it? Happy birthday to you. Yeah, happy birthday. All right.
Your aches and pains, the joint pain, and when you turn 50, the back pain.
The back pain, the aches and pains are caused from the oxalates because you're deteriorating faster than you're regenerating. You won't suffer from any of those pains because I don't have them anymore because I've oxalated dumped already for the last 2.5 years being on a natural animal raw diet. And, oh man, and yeah, I don't have that anymore. And I don't eat plants, these peasant slave food diets that give me these problems. I don't eat them. They're all gone. They're all gone.
And when you turn 60, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. It comes from that, which I think is is nonsensical because who are you?
You can't turn 60. You can celebrate the year 60, but you can't turn 60. Listen to what he says. When you turn 60, how the fuck could you turn 60? What is 60? He's trying to equate again. I'm turning 60, so he's equating that 60 has a specific look. 60 does not have a look, bro. Get it? Because animals out there are 100, 200 years old. And guess what? They still look the same 200 years later. I've seen an alligator. They said, this alligator is over 200. I saw a turtle. They said he's been in captivity for 200 years. Well, if they've been in captivity for 200 years, how come they don't look 200? Eh? How come?
Talking to. Seriously, you have to think about who are they talking to? Because if I'm athletic bound my entire life, then within my 50s and 60s, I'm going to be cool if I'm constantly moving, bro. So they've actually made a generalization when you turn 40, which is a number to the body. And so that bothers me so much. And so I'm here to talk about that. All that stuff is not true. It's not true. I'm 61 years old and I could run and I could jump. And so that's the first part that I want to mention, that the main takeaway from this portion right here before I get into the next hang, the main thing is that it seems like no one's out there truly observing. My aunt, I said about someone has an aunt, but I have an aunt. She died already at like 105 years old. None of us are sure because she stopped counting her age, bro, because she didn't care. But her name is Titi Mary, and I remember her at 90, bro. She gets all dressed up, man. She puts perfume and she's dancing. She's at ballrooms. She exercises. She had a nice fit. She was freaking sexy, and she was 90 years old.
Sorry about that. Got cut out there.
92, I remember, man. I would check in on her and they would tell me, yo, bro, she's still on fire. She turned 94, maybe 95. We're not so sure anymore, bro. And so that's an example of when you're a witness to this world.
Again, listen to what he says. She's 95. She's this and that. You are measuring her deterioration. This is insane. You're measuring a deterioration. I just told you, age doesn't exist in nature, nor do calendars or watches. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. It's in your head. You understand me? Holy shit, man. Do you understand what deterioration means, dude, or not? Do you understand the word that you can't, your body is breaking down proteins and building them up. You're breaking down damaged proteins and you're replacing them with good proteins. The problem is you're not even doing that, because you're taking in more damage than it is being broken down and taken out of your body, being excreted through feces and urine. You understand me? And you need a surplus of that protein to repair yourself, because you need a lot, because you're taking in more damage. Get it, bro? Never mind equilibrium. You need to be in positive nitrogen balance. I'm in positive nitrogen balance. I've been that way for quite a long time now. The only reason I've been in positive nitrogen balance and not in equilibrium, like animals in nature, they're in equilibrium. Therefore, they're always regenerating and breaking down proteins, and they're building proteins and breaking them down and regenerating, because they're eating their natural diet. They're not breaking the laws of nature, but you are. So you definitely need a surplus. Get it? You need to be in positive. You need to outpace protein breakdown. You need that surplus. You need about positive nitrogen balance, because you're fucked. Get it? But if you're trying to reverse the deterioration now that you did to yourself, then you're going to have to be in positive nitrogen balance for a very long time until you reach that goal. Get it? In an anabolic growth state, so that you can outpace protein breakdown and replace it with good proteins, and move the damaged proteins out of your body. Throw them out. Get it? You have to push them out. You have to force them out. But if you don't, and you just keep accumulating them and be peasant slave food diet and be in negative nitrogen balance, you will deteriorate faster than you can fucking regenerate. And then you call that age. Get it, dude? That's insane.
Then you should know that no number constitutes anything. So when we hear people say,
exactly, it doesn't. It doesn't. So why are you saying that for? Because you've deteriorated. And so now you put a label on it. You say, that deterioration looks 61. That deterioration looks 70. That one looks 80. Get it, dude? That's insane.
oh, when you turn 50, oh, when you turn 60, it's freaking 100% rubbish. And so I'm going to get into the next portion of this, because I'm going to break down some other aspects that are very important. But
again, birth certificates never existed until 1930. None of these things, age, birthdays, never existed, bro. They never existed. Nobody in time has ever celebrated a day of deterioration, because they all look the same. When they even recently, back in the 18th, 17th century, when they exhumed these bodies, they had all their teeth. Why? Because the only time they even ate some of this slave food peasant diet was in the summertime after harvest. And after that, they went back to eating their natural food all winter, because they didn't get imports. Get it? They had to eat animal products to survive in the wintertime, or you'll die. Plants don't grow in the winter. None of these fruits are plants and garbage food. Man, they had to eat animal products to survive. Yeah.
for that, I am going to do.
How come they have all their teeth? Why is all their teeth intact? Because that shows as a sign of non-deterioration. If you're missing your teeth or have problems over that, that even shows you a larger sign of deterioration. And if you lose your teeth, you won't be able to eat. And if you won't be able to eat, you're going to die. Get it?
Another swing and hang with a twist. So let's get to it. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, another hang, broski. All right.
Okay, bro. I did some extra twists, and so these are short, and so I'm just gonna time it for curiosity reasons. So now, the next portion, bro, we have a tendency to say, oh, I don't even feel 50. Oh, you know what? I don't feel 60. I'm 70 and I don't feel 70. And so this means that we know what it's like to feel that number. We know how it feels to be that number, which is totally.
No, I don't know what it's like to feel that number. I knew what it was like to feel deteriorated and have, problems with liver, prostate, kidneys, and all that. I knew what it was like to have mitochondrial dysfunction and some nerve damage and stenosis. Those things I know. You want to know why? Because of the peasant slave food diet. It did it to me. Yeah, it did it to me because my job and this and that and what I had to eat and stuff, I was busy. I wasn't paying attention. That was my problem. Get it? Yeah. That's what happens to many people.
Rubbish. If you think
We're eating for convenience and we're not eating for health. That's the difference.
about it, how are we supposed to know how we ought to feel at a certain digit? Where do we get that information from?
know.
If you really think about it, once again,
How do
it's
factory
because
workers feel?
we have a prospect, we have an
I don't know. How do laborers feel and fucking laborers and fucking slaves? How do they feel slaving these jobs? How do they feel? It's construction workers and shit, laboring jobs. How do they feel? How do they feel? Factory workers. How do they feel?
idea of that at 60 you're supposed to be like this or like that, like that. At 70 you're supposed to be worse off. At 80 worse off. And so because we're
Why?
worse off,
Why?
we are now making a comparison and I guess an insinuation that, let me see, I'm 61, so I don't feel 61.
Actually, I'm better. I'm better than I've been in the last 20 years. Holy shit, man. I remember I reached like at 41, I started really deteriorating. I looked at myself in a picture and I go, holy fuck, I look terrible. If I compare myself now to a picture at 42, bro, I look way better and I'm pushing like 60 already. So I look definitely, I'm reverse aging. If I can just stay in positive nitrogen balance a little bit longer, I don't know. We'll see how things go.
So if I say that, I'm making a comparison of how I think a 61 ought to feel. This means that a 61-year-old is not really supposed to be hanging like this. And so now
Why not? Why shouldn't they be hanging like that?
I'm an exception to the rule.
What makes you the exception? Because you keep practicing at doing it and they're not?
I don't feel 61, which is a bunch of rubbish. We don't know what it's like to feel like anything. But they're giving us digits to...
Yeah, I know what it's like to feel on a natural animal raw diet. And I know what it's like to feel on a peasant slave food diet. I'll tell you what it's like. I feel healthy and young and like a normal person on an animal-based raw animal diet. I feel on a peasant slave food diet, man-made peasant slave food, drug addict plant diet, I felt terrible, sick, and dysfunctional. That's how I felt. Yeah, that's how I felt. And it was getting worse and worse all the time. And my instincts told me this is wrong. That's what my instincts tell me. What do your instincts tell you now that you're deteriorating faster than you can regenerate? Look at yourself in the mirror. And you hanging on that thing all the time. Why do you need to hang on it? It got some kind of special powers to make you function better? Because of the peasant slave food diet, you want to keep burning that? Glycation equals deterioration. Is that it? So you want to burn the glycation so it doesn't deteriorate you. Is that it? No, you're still taking on a lot of these broken DNAs. You may be activating a fucking motor units because that's just normal doing things. Anything you do, it will activate more of them. You'll just draw more of them out. But that doesn't mean anything. That means nothing. You're just activating something. It's an adaptation process because your body has to do that for whatever reason you're doing there.
Coincide with like 50 and then 60, which are all just calculated numbers, which is a false way to look at our lives. We should have nothing to do. Really, man, we should freaking lay off with a number to the age. Seriously, like if age is just a number, then we shouldn't ask. if it is really a number, then that means that I don't need to ask anyone how old they are. And so the next portion of this, which is freaking comical, is we think we know what 20 looks like. We think we know what 30 looks like, what 40 looks like, what 50 looks like. But watch this. We have to ask. You have to think about this, man. This is like brainstorming material. If I have to ask someone how old they are, it's because I don't know. And so how do I know what a 30-year-old looks like? I don't, and you don't either. And I put this...
Yeah. You do want to know why you don't know what a 30-year-old looks like? Because they're deteriorated. That's why. You don't know what a 30-year-old looks like because they're all deteriorated. Now you know what a 30-year-old looks like. It's supposed to look like, man, get it? Not deteriorated. Let's just put it that way. If you measure time, yeah. Okay. What a 30-year-old looks like, they look, I guess, 30, whatever you want to call it, they're not non-deteriorated. But what is this, if you're measuring these people, 85 years has passed. Okay, so what is an 85-year-old supposed to look like? That is the question. Here's a question I have for you though. What's a 61-year-old supposed to look like? They're off the chains. What is it supposed to look like? Like you? Is all 61-year-old people supposed to look like you? So in 2 years, when I reach 61, am I supposed to look like you, like loss of hair, and have all this like this skinny neck with all this skin hanging and this deteriorated face and stuff? Like, should I look really deteriorated like you? Like, should I look like that at 61? Is that the goal? But that's not my goal though. See, I don't want to shoot for that goal. If I wanted that goal, then I would do what everybody else is doing out there. You understand me? I would do what I was conditioned to do, to deteriorate, to eat peasant slave food diet and exercise the fuck out of myself and do crazy weird jobs and just fuck myself. But guess what? I don't do any of that. Want to know why? Because I know that my instincts tell me that's going to deteriorate me faster than I can regenerate. See, at least I have the ability to listen to my instincts. Most animals do out in nature. They do.
To the test, right? People that have a tendency to do that, I said, I'm going to show you a person and you tell me how old they are. They were wrong.
Yeah. Show me a person. And apparently you're supposed to tell how old they are from whatever. This picture, whatever you show me, these people, whatever. See what I mean?
All the time. You will
I know it's a label.
be 100% wrong all the time. Because
Why? You said your age, you're 61. And if I put you up next to I Am Longevity, you guys pretty much look the same. You both look that deteriorated look, 61. See what I mean? So let's say I put my picture up in the next 2 years next to yours. And I still look the same like I do in my video. So I put my picture there on the left and your picture there in the middle and I Am Longevity on the right. Can you guess my age then? Would you be able to guess my age still? So like, does this make any sense, man? You know? Like, again, age is something you're celebrating, a day of degeneration. Get it? You're fucking deteriorating. I'm not celebrating that. I don't even like to celebrate birthdays. I never did. People always call me, tell me happy birthday. I go, why? Because, we need to remind you that you're deteriorating, another year of deterioration. That's all I fucking need is people reminding me that I'm on a peasant slave food diet and I can't stop this deterioration because it's based on addiction. Get it?
because there's no way to tell. There are younger people who are mature that you
Well, apparently, according to science, are these guys, they tell you there's biological age and then there's this other age, like physical age, whatever.
think they're older. There are older people that are playful that will seem younger, but they're older. And so
They're not older. They're deteriorated. They're deteriorated more than others. They're not older. You're measuring again. Now you say they're older. First you say there's no age, and then you say they're older. You can't make up your mind, dude.
on and so on and so on, and you will always come across, if you are a witness to this world, you will come across a 70-year-old bodybuilder, 80-year-old yoga instructors. I came across this 60-year-old that he held 60 seconds.
Yeah, he looks very deteriorated. Yeah, they look very deteriorated, these exercise slaves. Me, I don't exercise. That's why I don't look deteriorated. I can show you people that do not exercise and do not look deteriorated. And then I can show you people that exercise and look fucking deteriorated to hell.
Of a handstand. And this is
Now, if they're doing cosmetics to themselves, well, then they're faking it, okay?
at a time where 60-year-olds appeared like older. That was when it was old. Now 60, you're cool. At 60 now, like me, I'm 61 years old. It's not a big deal anymore. And so there's no way to tell. Because if I could really tell, I wouldn't need to ask. But that's the freaking primary question that we bring to the table when we meet someone.
No, you know when you see them, they're deteriorated. But if they look a good, not so completely deteriorated, then you'd be like, you label them a little bit younger, what you call younger. You may label them, get it?
So, what's your name? What do you do? How old are you?
Yeah.
Why do we have to ask if we know? And so we don't know. And so the best that we can get close to is, he looks between 30 and 40. He could be between
Yeah, you're measuring his deterioration. Yeah, okay.
35 and 45. That's still 10 years, bro. So we don't know.
Yeah, so you don't know because he didn't deteriorate as much as you because you slaved yourself and you ate the peasant slave food diet. Yes, okay. And they weren't doing it as much as you did. And they weren't slaving themselves to exercise, to deteriorate, accelerate this aging, this deterioration.
But we act like we do. And so this is important because maybe, this put me in a position where I don't ask anyone their age because it really doesn't matter. And so if you guess.
It does matter because deterioration is associated with you looking youthful, is associated with attractiveness and sex. The people, they don't want to have sex with deteriorated people. And they're not attracted to deterioration. They're not. They'll look at your face, and your face is a sign of health. And if it looks unhealthy because it's deteriorated, it's unhealthy. You can be fit, but you can be unhealthy, but you just don't see that. And that's called deterioration. Means you're unhealthy, because that's a sign of health. The way you look, youthful and regenerated, not fucking deteriorated.
It's my age without knowing it. You're always going to be wrong. Everyone is entirely wrong.
No, they're
the
not.
other aspect of this is that
No, they're not.
we like to lie. Humanity has this disposition to always be very, very careful about.
Of course they lied. They lied to you. They lied to you from your birth. They told you that you need to go to the peasants, you need to grow up, go to your slave school, get a slave job, get your slave wage, and go to your slave store and buy your slave food diet and deteriorate and celebrate your slave birthday. Get it? Your day of deterioration, and be happy about it. You get it, bro? Have you woken up, man? You're in the Matrix, dude.
Age-related topics.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's almost hurtful if someone, let's say, is 40 years old, and they say, so how old do I look? And I happen to say 45. They're going to go, oh. Okay. And it's not going to feel so good. I'm not going to like that either. And so I'm very, very careful. And so I freaking look at the person, and I really don't know, like you don't. Nobody knows. So I look at the person.
Nobody knows. You know what I know? Looks deteriorated to me. That's what I know. Looks deteriorated.
The person, let's say, is 40. I really don't know. So I'll say, what? You're 32?
Yeah, but they look deteriorated regardless. They look deteriorated.
And they go, oh, thank you. And they take that, not knowing that they do exactly the same thing. And so we're playing tricks with each other. A freaking senseless trick of making sure that we lessen the amount of what a person really looks like to us, but we don't know what someone looks like. So it's a guessing game from the get-go because there's no way to know what a person looks like. I can show you the 16-year-old, bro. She bugged me out, bro. She's 16 years old, bro, and she looks 30 years old, bro. I can't believe it. She's so serious.
She's 16, but she looks 30. Okay, so she looks deteriorated. Okay.
She's not playful. She takes care of a whole bunch of.
Yeah, so she partakes in slave food diets and stressing herself and doing exercise. Okay.
She takes care of the family in a way where she looks like she's freaking lived a long life already, and she's only 16 years old. I met her at 13, and she looks so much older. But that's what I'm talking about. There's no way to know. On top of that, we're lying to each other. We're what do you call it? We are, oh yeah, this person, 60 years old, oh yeah, you look 40. And they do that to me, and I get annoyed inside, but I ride with it. I play the game, but I don't care. I really freaking don't care at all. And so I am really glad that I popped out of it, because there are people that are hurting themselves applying the calculated number to them, and they want to look a certain number to feel satisfaction about it, instead of being playful. Once you're playful, you're going to look younger if you dress within the fashion.
So if you're playful, you guys are going to look younger, even though you're deteriorated. So you're going to artificially look younger? I don't get this, man. How are you going to look younger if you're playful? People look at you and they see what they see. People that are not deteriorated are going to look at you. They're going to see you for what you are, deteriorated. So being playful doesn't make you look regenerated. Get it? Makes you look the same.
You look younger. If your attitude.
Listen to what he says. You look younger. What's younger? What's youth? Regeneration. Man, listen, when you're growing up as a teenager, as a kid and a teenager, you're in positive nitrogen balance to the point when your femurs, they close. You're in positive nitrogen balance. So you're not deteriorating. You're regenerating faster than your body can deteriorate. Because the moment you come out of the wound, you're already deteriorating. Get it? You're deteriorating. Now, you stop growing at 21 or whatever. You stop growing. Your plates are closed. You're no longer in positive nitrogen balance. And so what happens? I don't know. You're in equilibrium now. If you're eating your natural food diet, you'll be in equilibrium. So you'll be able to regenerate while you're breaking down protein. So you won't not take on more damage than your body can replace. But if it takes on more damage than it can replace, then you are degenerating faster than you're regenerating. Get it? Deteriorating. Get it, dude? And that's what happens. But you call it maturity, or I reached my peak. I'm 30 and I've reached my peak. And now it's all downhill from 30. Not for everybody. Not for Chulo Young or Chulo Jang, whatever, the guy from fucking Singapore. It ain't for him. How come? And there's a few other people I can show you out there. It's not for them either. How come? How come?
Is freaking all good, bro. Let's do it, bro. Let's hang out. Let's go and dance. You're gonna look younger. And so those are the factors that are way more important.
You're not gonna look younger dancing and doing all that. That's just, you're fantasizing.
Than cosmetics, bro. Because I could cosmetically dress myself up and make myself appear to look younger, but I'm still aging.
You're not aging. You're deteriorating. You're not aging. You're deteriorating. Man, this guy doesn't get it.
The thing that I'm seeing that they're not catching, like the system that's doing all this, they're not catching that no matter what we do. We are aging, all of us. I could put on a wig.
No, we're not. All of us are not deteriorating. If we're on the peasant slave food diet, then we all are degenerating if we're partaking in that. But some are degenerating more than others because some are smoking, they're drinking alcohol, they're doing more stuff to degenerate themselves. Eating these poisonous foods, drinking poison, smoking poison all day, whatever. You get the idea. That's why you have the test. They showed the two twins. One twin was more degenerated than the other twin. Why? Because the other twin was smoking and eating shit all day and sometimes drinking. The other one didn't really drink that much and didn't smoke, whatever, and didn't look so deteriorated as the other one.
I could freaking fix my eye.
But they were both deteriorating regardless because they both drank coffee, this toxic coffee soup, bean soup, fucking toxic shit that fucking degenerates you, and the peasant slave food diets. They kept eating that. Just one partook in other stuff that would further the degeneration a lot quicker, accelerated it.
I can fix my teeth and I can do all the things, bro.
Exactly. Why do you need to fix your teeth? Because they're degenerating. Why do you need to fix your face? Why are you pulling your skin? Because you're degenerating. Get it?
That can make, yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
Let me do all the
You're not regenerating.
things so that I could cosmetically look younger, but I'm still 61 years old. I did not reverse anything.
No, you're not. You're still degenerated because you're not regenerating. You're not in a positive nitrogen balance. That's why. That's, if you want to look the way you did previously, static, then you need to be in positive nitrogen balance. Yeah, that should be your goal instead of hanging on that stupid thing and doing those stupid exercises. Fucking furthering this degeneration, accelerating it.
Really
That's just absolutely mentally ill and crazy to want to accelerate aging by eating peasant slave food diets and fucking doing exercise, which will accelerate this aging. That's insanity.
Conversation coming from a 61-year-old that if anyone visits this non-engagement channel, that you may be from this point good and go out there, be fashionable, go out and smile more because that provides a youthful look. Go and dance. You don't dance, go dance. You don't play with the children, go.
Yeah, smiling is youthful. Yeah, go dance. That'll make you youthful. Yeah, sure. Well, it'll accelerate aging. What are you talking about?
Go play with the children.
It'll accelerate this deterioration.
And do things that are youthful instead of appearing younger, so that you can feel good.
Yeah, but you're not doing anything that's youthful. Youth is associated with what you eat: meat, raw animal products, and doing what is youthful. Yeah, not doing exercise or labor work. Get it, man? Hello? Anybody home?
About that someone's telling you, oh, you don't look 50, you look 41. Oh, how nice. Oh, how wonderful I feel. So actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a straight hang now, because this will be worth it for me to time it just to see. So let's
Yes, that's all you want to do is stress yourself so you can accelerate aging, but okay.
get to it. 1,
Yes.
2, 3.
Yes.
In this area and in the elbow area, which is really needed after my intense burpee session. And so the lats are not really getting so much as a stretch than with the twist. So the twist serves a freaking major purpose. Also, the core area is getting a stretch and the back is getting that decompression, but not as much as when I twist. So that's really good. The swinging also provides an assisted push that's weighing me down. So between me twisting and me swinging is creating a more of a stretch, a more of a decompression. So it's really worth saying that the twist ought to be added. Like from now on, I'm going to add this twist all the time because of what it does. And so now, here's the next portion that I want to share about the harsh truth. There's no harsh truth. There's no expectations. We don't know. You, if you're 40, you don't know what you are going to be like at 50. At 40, that's 10 years away. You have to think about it.
You don't know what you're going to be like at 50. That's 40 years away. You're 40, and it's 10 years away to 50. You don't know what you're going to be like. Yes, you are. If you continue in that behavior, because it's a behavior, if you continue in that behavior, eating peasant slave food diet and accelerated aging and laboring, doing these crazy exercises, then you know what you're going to look like when you're 50. Now, when you're in positive nitrogen balance and you're eating raw animal products, getting high nutrients, eating like liver and stuff and all that and organs, and you avoid these kind of exercises, but you do movements that are regenerative. In other words, if you do exercises that you're unaccustomed to, untrained, unfamiliar, and eccentric exercise, that will activate the progenitor cell, the stem cells. That will increase the stem cell pool. And it will regenerate you. So it will remove a lot of these old muscle cells and replace them with new muscle cells. And you will have expanded the satellite cell pool and you will have lengthened the telomeres at the same time. Now, that is not based on exercise. That is based on injury. You're injuring the muscle fibers so they can remodel. Get it? And so that injury will activate the satellite cell. Injuries activate satellite cells. They're called stem cells because muscles are post-mitotic. They don't grow. You understand me? You can injure muscles and remodel them bigger, slightly bigger and stronger, providing protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. You can do that. See what I mean? And you can replace old cells with new ones and expand the satellite cell pool every time you do that. But that is based on periodic. In other words, you only have to do that once in a month, once per month. So that's like 12 exercises in a year. But this guy, he's doing it every day. Get it? Stress, inflammation, accelerated aging, then eating the peasant slave food diet, more stress, more inflammation, bloating, farting, inflammation, get it? DNA damage, oxalates, lectins, tannins, all this shit, bro, in there. Get it, man? You understand me? And sugar, glycation equals deterioration, lots of glycation, salt, sodium. Yeah.
Like that. You don't know at 60 or when I turn 60. You don't know. None of us know.
Yes, I know. We do know. You do know. Your instincts tell you that, but you don't want to listen to them.
Now, here's the next bit that's very important now.
Yeah.
Me being a 61-year-old and exercising the way I do, and as playful as I am, I feel like I'm off the books within my surroundings, because my surroundings, they can't seem to make heads or tails what's going on.
Yeah.
They look at me with so much energy and see me do these exercises, and they see me play with kids up to 3 hours, which
They think you're crazy. Why are you doing that? See what I mean? To accelerate aging.
can't do. And they look at me like I'm off the books. Like
You also that is also deteriorating. You having low testosterone deteriorates you. That's why people are suffering from low testosterone. They can't stop eating the peasant slave food diet and exercising. Every time you exercise the way you do, it's not based on regeneration. It's based on deterioration. So every time you exercise, you're crashing your testosterone and then you're raising estrogen. You're crashing it. You're raising the catabolic hormone is raised. So you're no longer anabolic. Not only are you in negative nitrogen balance, but now you're catabolic. Get it, bro? This is just crazy. And so that's just what's happening. So you're lowering your testosterone is very low, and that too will also you'll suffer. You'll age because of that as well, or you'll deteriorate.
a rare thing. This is not. Wait a minute. Because they're so used to considering that a 60-year-old ought to be.
Yeah.
What has been laid out for them already, because
What's
the
that?
30-year-old, 40, 50 is laid out. If someone is saying at 50 you shouldn't do this, that means they've already laid out a protocol so that when you turn 50 you better not do this, which after the next hang I'm going to break down a few bits that freaking is a testament. Like, this is where I substantiate this entire video with some of these things that you can see, or the things that I'm saying you've already come across, or the things I'm saying you believe, which if you believe it, you may want to consider, think about it, and go, okay, all right, in respects.
Yeah, but I don't believe anything. I base things off of fact, not belief. And I have my opinion about things, but that doesn't mean anything. But I base it off fact. I don't believe in anything.
To what they're saying, is that so? I believed it. I grew up believing when I turned 40 that
I know you believed it because you were a slave. That's why you believed it. You were conditioned to believe that, like the elephant, the baby elephant tied with a chain. Once it grew up, they just had to put a rope around its leg. It believed it cannot get away because it's been conditioned that way. Like you.
I would have joint aches, and I did.
I know you've been conditioned to believe that is normal, but that is not normal to have those pains.
And they told me, when you turn 50, the back aches. They told me.
Yeah, they told you, but why don't you listen to your instincts? You're an adult now. You're not a kid. So why do you need to listen to what they told you? That was then. This is now. Why can't you change? Because you don't want to, because it's a group thing. You want to destroy yourself with everybody else. You want to join the party.
And I got it. I got the backaches so bad that I could not freaking get out of the bed without struggling. When I sat down long, I had to struggle.
Yeah, I had the same thing. And guess what it taught me? I ran right away to meat. I tried all those things and they almost destroyed me. So I put them to the test. And I've never had it that bad. I mean, I had it bad, but never that bad when I tried those things to see what would happen if I did them in mega dosages. And they nearly killed me. What kind of food is that if it kills you? You eat a lot of it and it kills you. That's crazy. But guess what? I started eating a lot of animal products. And I mean a lot, bro. Get it? And guess what? It only made me better. And the more I kept eating of it, the more better it made me. So that must mean it's the appropriate diet. And if it made all my pains go away and all my problems, that must be something going on there for sure, right? Get it? But if you're getting pains, dude, and you're feeling bad and deteriorated, then obviously, hello, your peasant slave food diet and exercises aren't working. But if that's the goal, to look deteriorated, well, guess what? You've accomplished the goal. It's working. Keep doing it, and you'll get exactly what you're looking for.
To get up, going to the bathroom was painful.
Sure.
And that's because I live like everyone else. And so,
Yeah, you live like everyone else, the peasant slave food diet, and is celebrating another birthday of deterioration. Get it? And exercise slave, yes.
you're right in that aspect, which is another aspect to bring to the table, that if you're living like everyone else and they're projecting what's going to happen to you, the chances of that being correct is so.
Because it's a group thing. All of you want to deteriorate together in the same group. None of you want to be left out.
In that aspect, yes, they're correct. But when you exercise, when you provide yourself with the nutrients that your body wants, which I can't answer.
Yes, you can. You can answer that. You don't want to. Yes, if you provide the nutrients, but you're not. Because what diet is the highest in nutrients, which provide these nutrients? Animal products. Raw animal products, the way they're meant to be eaten. But you didn't grow up eating them because they fed you the peasant slave food diet and you accepted it.
When you allow yourself to sleep, when you stretch, a playful mind, and when you don't carry stress, then your body, it rewards you with youth.
No, your body doesn't reward you with youth when you do those things. Nature rewards you when you don't break the laws of nature. Then you're rewarded with what? Regeneration and not deterioration.
That's the best way I can explain it.
You're wrong. Your body's not going to do anything. Your body definitely, if you don't break the laws of nature and you eat what you're supposed to, then nature will reward you. Get it? With good health. Eat what nature wants you to eat and it will reward you with good health. And stop fucking exercising. Stop that shit, bro.
It rewards you.
Nobody's interested in you exercising, watching you deteriorate yourself. They're not interested. They are interested in these lifting people online. That's based on entertainment. But you're not entertaining. They're looking at you. You're deteriorating yourself and they fucking hate you, bro. Get it? They're not going to join your channel. Like, I got to join this guy's channel so I can watch this guy deteriorate the fuck out of himself. Doing fucking slave exercises, laboring all day.
There's no harsh anything regarding age, bro. There's none, bro. Cut it out, bro. So
Yeah.
let's get to it. What?
Again, here we go.
Feeling a little bit tense from the load that I took, and I want to go heavier. I'm gonna go heavier, bro, on that burpee thing, which may happen on Friday. So now, the next portion that I want to talk about, that is the key to the entire thing, is comparison. Because we compare, there's a 30-year-old against a 40-year-old, a 40-year-old against a 50-year-old. But if we didn't compare, and if we took out the numbers, let's say,
Oh, brother.
we took out the numbers to our age, then there's no way to know how old you will be because there's no numbers.
I know Brian Johnson too, that other longevity guy. He too, he's reverse aging. He's regenerating, eating peasant slave food diets and synthetic tablets and eating chocolate, which is toxic, and all these toxic foods, and taking steroids, which is toxic when you inject it because it's made from plants. It comes with a level of toxicity. And he's done Botox and he's done, like, I don't know, sutures and needling in his face, and he's done hair jobs and everything, and plastic surgery and fucking all this weird shit, though. It's all cosmetic. He's taken blood from his son. He's done other weird things and injected in his body, and all these weird things that he does and everything. He doesn't go out in the sun and everything. And guess what? He still looks the same. Get it? 45. He hasn't changed. Or he's 46 now. He's 46. He looks exactly the same. He looks like what you would call 46 years old. In other words, you can see the deterioration on him, but you know it's kind of fake because it's cosmetic when you're looking at him. You just know, man. You just know when you look at him, bro. It's fake. He didn't do it naturally. He's doing it artificially, which is totally bad. Get it?
the question how old requires the response of a number. But if there's no such thing as a number to your age, then it'll just be you. So what's
Exactly. It's just you. So stop celebrating the day of deterioration.
going on with you? Then you won't be able to compare because there's no numbers to compare. So you just be looking at another person.
Yes, there's animals to compare out in nature, whether you look deteriorated and how come they don't look deteriorated.
But since we compare and since there's a number, there's a constant comparison.
Look, if I compare a 200-year-old, let's say we're measuring time, a 200-year-old alligator next to an alligator that's, let's say, 30 years old, can you tell the difference? No. Why not? Because he hasn't deteriorated. He eats his natural animal diet. And he doesn't work. He doesn't exercise to accelerate aging. You understand me? He lives out in his natural habitat, nature. He doesn't need these addictive foods to keep him busy, so he will deteriorate or do exercises to keep him busy or whatever, or work for money, slave himself and all that. They don't have to do any of that. So they're not stressed, bro. They're not stressed.
50, 40, that's already a comparison. And so if I came across a 70-year-old that freaking killed me with exercise and I'm in that realm of comparison, then I am going to feel, wow, the 70-year-old man, he freaking...
Hell, they're jealous at the buffet I go to. They don't even like me there anymore because they saw me regenerating. They see me getting younger. Even the women tell me there all the time, you got nice hair. You know that? Some people even accused me online that I colored my hair or something. I don't color. I don't do cosmetics, dude. I've never colored my hair or used makeup or anything. Fuck. I don't do anything. But whatever, man. But I don't like the way my lips look. They look very thin. I guess that was part of the deterioration. I'm trying to get my lips to come back the way they were, slightly. They weren't so deteriorated. Like they get thinner, apparently, when you deteriorate. But I would like them to go back the way they were. That would be nice, right? It gives you a better look.
He made me look like... But I don't compare, so that'll never happen. If a 70-year-old shocks me with his exercise, whatever, I will sit down and question him. That exercise that you did, how long you been doing it? Because if you've been doing it since he was 12, the other factor is that a lot of these older...
That's why he looks so deteriorated, yes.
Guys, they're taking gear, they're taking stuff, they're taking enhancements.
Yeah.
Which is very personal. So I don't know if they're taking anything. I'm not taking anything except creatine. Because I'm cool with the amount of energy.
Again, you're taking creatine. Okay, it's an amino acid. There's nothing wrong with taking creatine. But they made it specifically in a very high dose, those specific three amino acids, to get them to do something specific, like put water in your muscles. And it does this thing like it helps you because it's amino acid. It helps you, I don't know, maybe with low body fat, something, who knows, muscularity. But it's temporary and it's fake. That makes it temporary and fake. You know, look, creatine's not going to put you in positive nitrogen balance. Only eating, you have to have all the sequences of amino acids together. They all have to work synergistically together. You have to eat an animal protein diet to do that. I'm sorry.
I don't want more. And so, because that factor is there, I don't know now. Now I'm really lost. And so to compare, it would be me doing a major injustice to my being.
Yeah,
like, what am I doing comparing? Like, I really don't know.
Yeah, did you know that eating cooked animal products and pasteurized milk, you'll absorb the broken DNA that's in there, that's absorbed in you. That furthers the deterioration. That's why I call it the peasant slave food diet. Everything is made specifically to deteriorate you so you don't live very long. You understand me? The government doesn't want you to live long. They want you to die early. They want to use you and then discard you.
I may have undergone cosmetics, which I don't know, which a lot of people want to keep that a secret because they want to be able to look younger and say, yeah, I want to look younger naturally without someone asking me, so what did you take? Also, if they're taking gear and they got
younger naturally, It's cosmetic.
Got more energy and they're able to get fire up their testosterone and they got more strength and everything and they're taking those things and that's why they're stronger and they don't tell me anything and I'm comparing, then I am naturally gonna feel bummed out. All of us, we lay in the middle of the comparison spectrum. All of us lay right in the middle and we're stuck in the middle. There's nowhere to go because in this freaking world so vast with so many people, there will always be someone stronger than me, always be someone weaker than me, and I'm always in the middle, and so are you. Those people that are stronger than me that I'm saying here, they're also in the middle. While they're in the middle, there's someone above them and below them, and if it hasn't happened to them yet, it will. Because as we age, there always comes across that person that will be better than us, which better is a comparative measure. There should be no better because that causes problems within us.
Yes, there should be no better because it'll cause problems in us. So it's a group thing. We should all deteriorate together. Nobody should be left out. Nobody should be eating their natural diet. Everybody should be, like he says, everybody shouldn't be left out. They should all be eating peasant slave food diet and exercising so they can all deteriorate at the same time and celebrate a day of deterioration called birthdays. Yes.
Whole thing with this anti-aging thing, the root of it is
There's no such thing as anti-aging. You can't live forever. Are you talking about reverse deterioration? Like reversing the deterioration that you did to? Yes, there is. It's called positive nitrogen balance. Ever heard of it? It's where you are regenerating faster than you're deteriorating. But in order to do that, you have to eat very specific food now. It can't be done on peasant slave food diet. Get it, dude? It won't work. That'll accelerate it. It'll accelerate it because peasant slave food will put you in negative nitrogen balance, but you'll think you are in positive because you're consuming more peasant slave food. That's not how it works, dude. It will only work when protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. When they say protein synthesis outpacing, they mean it. They're talking about animal products will outpace breakdown. Put you in positive nitrogen balance.
comparison. I want to look like the way I looked like when I was in my 40s. And I'm trying to keep how I looked at my 40s and I'm trying to bring that into my 60s.
Yeah, okay.
So what can I do to look younger? And so that's comparing right there, man. And so I always bring to the table to age gracefully.
Yeah.
Because if you age gracefully.
Yes, deteriorate gracefully. You should deteriorate gracefully like everybody else out there. Yes, sir.
Then you will be aging naturally the way we all are aging. We are all
Yeah, we all aging. Yes, we're all aging. It's a measure of time. We're all aging, yes. Okay, what about it?
aging naturally, and that freaking bucks.
Yeah, the funny thing is we're all aging naturally, but guess what? We're all deteriorating unnaturally. Get it?
Me out more than anything that the subject matter is so freaking bound to our longevity and reversing aging.
Well, if you're deteriorating, right, then yeah, it'll be bound to your, I guess, your longevity because it'll shorten your lifespan. You'll wear out your parts, your everything, your joints, parts, your organs and everything will be deteriorated. Get it? They'll be worn out like a car. If you don't change the oil, the parts wear out. But the car can drive for decades. Get it? Because I know people have old cars. They've been driving them for 60 years now or more. So yeah, because they change the oil.
And take this to reverse aging, and they have this new thing to reverse aging, and this with the cells and that.
Yeah, you're talking about reverse deterioration. Yes.
They're scientifically breaking down how our bodies could be younger, but I have yet to hear play with the children. Involve yourself.
Yeah, that's the secret. Play with the children. That'll reverse all that deterioration you've already done to yourself. The last 60 years, try to reverse 60 years of deterioration. Oh, yeah.
And youthful activities.
Sure.
Art, painting.
Oh, yeah, youthful activities. That's it. Yeah, that's going to change you. Oh, yeah. And it's not food that's going to change you, right? Even though food is genetics, 100% of what you eat is your genetics. But I know you're going to blame your genetics on your parents or somebody or whatever.
Creativity is youthful avenues. Go dancing. That's a youthful avenue. Hang out with younger people, because you'll be within the crowd, bro, and you'll be like hanging out with them. And so that is a youthful measure, bro. No one talks about that.
Yeah, but they won't accept you if you're deteriorated because they'll see you that way, believe me. They don't want you hanging around with them. You understand me? You're not attractive. It's not attractive. Deterioration doesn't look attractive to these people that are not deteriorating. They don't see that as attractive or sexual or anything. If anything, you just remind them of what they may be looking like if they continue in their slave food diet.
It's constant reversing of aging based on the visuals, which is freaking horrible. And so,
So then why are you exercising? Why are you exercising? If you don't like this reverse aging and reverse deterioration, all this kind of weird stuff, why are you exercising? What's the benefits of exercise? Oh, I know. Exercise will reverse aging, right? It'll stop the deterioration of some bullshit thing. You have a fake belief. No, it doesn't. It accelerates it. Get it, dude? Hello. And so does the peasant slave food diet. It doesn't reverse it. It accelerates it.
Brings me to my next hang. And so let's get to it.
Again, here we go. Slaving.
Hang, swinging hang with a twist. Okay, so I want to read thumbnails and then elaborate on the thumbnails that I came across. Okay, one thumbnail, the thumbnail matter, the what was there, it said, it's later than you think. Now, the answer to that means that there's an ending.
Yeah.
And we have our eye on that ending. But if you really think about it, that should not be any of our business, because once again, we don't know. None of us know. I could go tomorrow. I could get struck with something in 2 years, 5 years. So I don't know. So what am I doing considering an end? Like, it's later than you think. Like, so you better hurry up. Hurry up for what? What's the race all about?
I don't know.
What do you feel that you ought to do that you're not doing, that you should be doing anyway?
What is
so that title right there is later than you think. It implies an ending. Like, if we know, like, aging should not be any of our business. It shouldn't. Because aging is a natural process.
Aging, yeah, it shouldn't be our business. It's a natural process in whatever. But you're celebrating it though. You're celebrating a year of aging. But what you're really celebrating is a year of deterioration. See what I mean? When you celebrate that year, you're celebrating another year that you're alive from deterioration, that you haven't died from deteriorating yourself. Get it? From doing something that's unnatural and breaking the laws of nature. Nature will punish you. You could break man's laws or fucking, religious laws. They're not going to do nothing to you. That's just fear. They tell you you're going to go to the happy place, the bad place. Get it? Instead of the happy place. But in this world, in reality, you're going to suffer. Nature's going to punish you, all right.
What we could do is we could dress ourselves up in any way we can. Yeah, cosmetically, that's fine.
Yeah.
But at least I'm sure that if I cosmetically, let's say, add hair and give myself a tan and wear suits and playful, I still know that I'm 61 years old. I'm not trying to be younger.
Again, he's like, I know I'm 61 years old. So, yeah, you know you're 61. What does that have to do with anything? You mean you know that you've deteriorated yourself and you don't look the way you did when you were regenerated, right? And now you're deteriorated. See what I mean? This is funny.
And I'm not getting all freaking fluffed up over being told that I look younger, although it does feel good. And
I'm sure it does. It makes you feel good if somebody tells you you look younger, whatever that means. Get it? In other words, you look less deteriorated, so you feel better, right? Because you didn't completely your peasant slave food diet and exercises haven't completely deteriorated, but it has somewhat deteriorated you, yes.
So kind of embarrassed about that.
Okay.
Shouldn't feel anything about that. That's my age, but this is the age that
Yeah, that's your age.
so many other people are active too. If you look at
But age doesn't have a look. It's a number. It doesn't have a look. It's a number. Get it, dude? It doesn't. How can age have a look? It doesn't have a look, but you're equating it with a look because the government has made you do that. Get it? And your parents and everybody else. It's become tradition to celebrate another year of deterioration.
Asian people, they're 90s and doing Tai Chi and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're freaking moving their body.
You mean Asians that are deteriorated, eating fucking, man, these nuts and shit and their stir fries and shit with cyanide and arsenic all day, poisoning themselves on a daily basis, eating rice which has arsenic in it and glycation. So glycation and arsenic equals deterioration. Get it? And so they're eating that food and it's deteriorating them faster than they can regenerate. Even if they were in equilibrium, it wouldn't matter. That even takes you out of equilibrium if you're eating that food. So you're always kind of like in a negative nitrogen balance. Vegan people are in negative nitrogen balance because humans are not herbivores. We're carnivore animals.
Bodies and they're freaking looking awesome. Another
There
thumbnail.
are only two sexes in this world, male and female. There are only two types of animals in this world, carnivore and herbivore animals. Get it?
Comes from a Tai Chi ad that if you watch it,
I'm not saying that these animals can cheat and eat meat. All animals can eat the diet that's inappropriate for them, but they will pay a price if they do it often enough. Now, in the sex world, I'm not saying that people can't pretend that they're transgender, but transgender doesn't exist. You're acting. You're playing, acting. There's only two sexes. Like I said, there's only two animals, carnivore and herbivore. There's only two sexes, male and female. But if you want to act and play and do weird stuff, you can. See what I mean? Here's the thing. If I start eating bark off a tree or rocks, does that mean it's healthy for me too? If I convince people and say, you should eat rocks, you should eat coal, pieces of coal, it's healthy for you. Goes in and it cleanses you. It carries all these nutrients in there. It's got this vitamin C stuff and stuff in there. Doesn't have all the other minerals and vitamins, but it has this stuff in there, whatever, and antioxidants and all. It does spew out nonsense and tell you should eat this. And then what happens if you deteriorate eating it? What happens if you deteriorate instead of regenerate? I fooled you, get it? You understand me?
all the time, you've seen it. This ad says that gym doesn't work past 40. That's what they said.
The ad says that gym doesn't work past 40. Well, I did read that the COVID-19, these vaccines, they don't work on people over 40. It says that in PubMed and CBI. Science tells you that. They don't work on people. So why are they getting it?
China gym. The gym is a place. But what happens? There's bodybuilding that happens there. There's calisthenics that happens there.
Okay.
There's aerobics that happens there.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of Pilates classes that happens there.
Okay.
The gym does not work at 40.
So what?
It doesn't really say anything. That the gym doesn't work in what aspect? Once again, the person...
It does work. It does work. When they keep going there all the time, they're degenerating. They're accelerated this aging, this degeneration. They're accelerating it. So it does work, yeah.
Who states that, okay, it's an ad, so...
Can believe that exercise is going to somehow make them young or regenerate them. That's not the problem. The problem is that they're so bloated and inflamed from the peasant slave food diet, so they go to the gym thinking that that's going to reverse all that problem. I don't know about this. They're thinking it's going to reverse this deterioration, aging, you call it. It's going to make him look younger. Not necessarily. It's going to make them look older. That's the problem. That's why they notice they're looking older. But then they're going to just say, oh, I'm just aging. It's just age. Meanwhile, they're accelerating it faster than other people that are not doing that.
Those are business words. But that's lacking being a witness. Because if anyone right now goes to a gym, you'll see people in their 40s, 50s working out. You see people in their 60s and you'll see muscle.
Yeah, the best is when people tell them, "Oh, I should have done this when I was younger. It's never too late or whatever. I got to start now." Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're gonna start now and do what? You want to start now and deteriorate yourself faster? Then? Oh, yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
You go to observe, if you look, and you just stay there for 2 hours, you will come across an older person that's coming in.
I'm an older person, but I don't want to go there, get it? Because I know it's the house of horrors, the house of deterioration, dude.
To do some gym activity. So the gym does not work past 40 years of.
Yeah, but nobody wants to do any gym activity. Go out in the street and ask these people. You want to know what they want to do? They want to play, run around, talk with their friends, socialize, hang out. They do want to do what is natural, like in nature. That's what they want to do. They want to go to the swimming pool, jump around in the water with their friends and hang out all summer in the park, throw some baskets and shit, throw a football, do some playtime. Maybe go hunting. I don't know.
Freaking 100% rubbish. He also said, because there is a question and answer in the ad, that the people over 40 shouldn't be running, crunching, or lifting. I'm 61. I lift. I lift at my capacity, and I feel great. And exercise is a part of my life. It's a real big part of my life. And so it's an activity that's a fulfilling activity that's part of my life. Because I exercise, I make these YouTube videos, and this is a real big part of my life. And so that's very good. That's not bad. And so he's promoting only Tai Chi, which is terrible. Because if I was into Tai Chi, I'll say, yeah, Tai Chi freaking really works good with bodybuilding and Pilates and gymnastics, because it's a body weight exercise, and so you get a lot of stretching and you get this aspect and you get this benefit. And, bodybuilding that creates that stiffness, and when you're big with muscles, if you add Tai Chi to your life, you can add more flexibility. And if you do Pilates and Tai Chi, or if you do boxing with Tai Chi.
Okay, so what's causing the flexibility? What's causing it when you do these stretches and these things like calisthenics and all that, what you just said? What's causing it? The increase in the sarcomeres and series. That's what. Get it? Now, if you're doing short length exercises, you're going to shorten them. It's associated with a loss of sarcomere and series, and then you're going to be stiff again. Get it? Yeah.
Or if you do whatever exercise you do with Tai Chi and you mix it up, then you'll be a well-rounded individual.
Look, it's really just a deterioration, and you're losing these sarcomere and series because you're deteriorating.
Now, doesn't that sound fantastic?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
The last is you're not recovering enough after 50. That one I came across today was freaking okay. You're not recovering enough in what aspect? Because once again, we're assuming that a person is working out to the capacity that that person is thinking. Now, if you worked out the way I worked out yesterday, yeah, you better recover. Like, that's why I'm not freaking gonna go ahead and face that burpee.
Yeah, but you're not gonna recover because you're getting something called myogenic decline, because you're actually, it's the opposite of what you're doing. You're actually exhausting the stem cell pool. You're exhausting it. Going there often, exercising exhausts the stem cell pool. Now, if you cause a micro injury to the muscle fiber periodically, I mean very periodically, that is associated with regeneration. But you're degenerating and exhausting the stem cell pool you're constantly trying to activate it through metabolic stress. You understand me? That's a type of damage, but that isn't based on micro damage. That's based on metabolic stress. So you're metabolically stressing your body, and so you're activating the satellite cell to come out of quiescence consistently on a daily basis. You're exhausting the stem cell pool. That's why you are degenerating. Get it? You're accelerating this degeneration and shortening the what do you call it? The telomeres. Get it?
Because my chest and my my delts and my arms and my core feel so freaking pumped from yesterday's workout. I know that I need to recover, although my legs, I can work out legs. And so you see, now, this here is dangerous because if someone is working out, and let's say they're 50, 60, or 70, and they just do this, and they figure they're counting to 12, so that's good, I count to 12, and then they go on now, I count to 15, and then they go ahead, and it was really a freaking minor workout. Now they'll go ahead and rest when they don't need to. So now they're doing themselves an injustice because they could have worked out again the next day, and they could have worked out harder, but they're not really checking things out to find out when and why they need to recover. That word recovery is very
Yeah, sure, they should come back again. Just do it all over again. Yeah, sure, yeah.
bleak. There's no way to really say like recover. Like if I worked out.
See, these guys are working out, they're recovering. They're like endurance athletes, they're recovering. Now, if you are causing micro damages, you are regenerating. That's the opposite. Now, if you're eating peasant slave food diets, you're degenerating. Get it? Faster than you're regenerating as well. Talking about these proteins, the buildup of the damaged proteins and relieving them. So if you have a surplus of them coming in, clean proteins coming in and not damaged ones or fucked up or whatever, clean stuff is coming in, then you can outpace the ones that are breaking down by removing the damaged ones a lot faster than they're building up. Because they could be building up a lot quicker, these damaged cells. But you want to outpace the damaged cells by removing them. Get it? That's the whole point.
Like some of these bodybuilders that really work out to the maximum. Yeah. I have to recover. And that recovery requires me to really rest. And some of these freaking major freaking professional bodybuilders.
Yeah, you're resting, but you're not regenerating or growing. Okay.
They work out to the point where they rest 3 days for their recovery. 3.
Yeah, they rest 3 days. In science, it will tell you something about 3 days. But that doesn't include the days that you worked out on. So that would be what? 4 days, right? From the day that you worked out, and now you take 3 days off and you come back on the 4th day. See what I mean? Even then, it's very low level. It's very low level. And I don't know what you're getting there. It's most likely metabolic damage, which is not going to do nothing. It's just metabolic stress. You're just stressing your body. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to grow. It doesn't grow because muscles are post-mitotic. That's not going to do fuck all. Okay? But that also doesn't that doesn't cause the satellite cell to magically remodel these fibers because you activated them through metabolic stress and not fucking micro damage. Hello.
No, that's the recovery time for them. But how about the recovery time for me? How about the recovery time for you? If you take a 5-minute walk and now you're not going to do anything tomorrow because you need to recover from the walk, I can imagine there's a lot of people saying, oh yeah, I just did a workout and now I have to recover. And really, they didn't put their body through any intensity. The muscles never got pumped. They maybe did a nice light cardio workout, that's very nice. But by all means, they could go ahead and work out the next day because they did not put their body into the state in need to recover. That's so freaking important.
Yeah, but for what reason are you doing this? For what reason are you doing this? And you need to recover and come back and do it again. What reason? To accelerate aging? Fucking, are you crazy, man? This isn't regenerative.
And so, what can I say, man? So if there's anyone that came to this non-engagement channel and you've tuned into the things I'm saying, relax. Go out and have a good time. Stop it with the age and how old are you and you look 40 and yeah, that's nice. I'm really you're 60 or you look 20. Cut it out. Let's leave the numbers alone and let's live. Let's just live. If I had a chance to take out my age, I'll do it. I'll do like my aunt. My aunt did it. It may serve me to do it and only take a look with governmental issues like my birthday to say that's how old I am and not really freaking care on account. And so I'm gonna do the last dead hang, which will be straight down and then say goodbye. So let's get to it. 1.
Here we go again.
2. 3.
Oh my God. Catcha, man. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Don't you think about that? Like, subscribe, support the channel. This guy's funny, man. I swear. Yeah. It's a long ass video.